Sir, am I visible? I wanted to confirm. Sorry, I had to reboot everything. There was an issue with the net.
Yeah,
So,
you are visible, ma'am. You are visible.
I'm visible now?
Visible,
Okay.
ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had to reboot everything. I was logged on and I had to reboot everything. I'm very sorry. My apologies.
No issue, ma'am.
Okay. Can we start now, sir?
All right, ma'am. We can start.
Okay. Yeah.
But still, it is not coming in YouTube, ma'am. Let's wait
Now,
for
on
1 or 2
YouTube?
minutes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
No.
it's not coming in YouTube. We will wait. Soon it
Okay.
comes. I will inform you, ma'am. Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. We can start, ma'am.
Okay,
Please go
perfect.
ahead, ma'am.
Perfect.
Right,
Perfect.
right.
Reverend dignitaries of the great institution, respected Dr. HOD Sir of ECE Department, dear Dr. Arun Sir, and all of the wonderful Nobel professors and staff members, and as always, above all, my dear darling students, Antariki Namaskaram. Teaching is in fact the most noble profession in this world. So why did I address as Nobel professors both yesterday and today instead of Nobel professors? Just a moment, okay? I want to confirm if this is getting on slideshow. Okay, I had this thing on the, okay. Obviously, teaching is a noble profession, and you know, all teachers are definitely capable of winning the coveted Nobel Prize. Let's aim high, shall we? And my dear students, young learners, future leaders, we create brain cells every single day. When we are on the learning path, we stay young. If we can learn, you know, better for us. If I can learn, you all can definitely learn as young children. Please do not feel scared. Keep learning. Face your day-to-day life very happily. Every person in this world is unique. As always, there is no best way. You know, there is no best in anything. There is always and always a better way. Please stay as cheerful as possible. And most importantly, keep your smile, you know, always. My parents, you know, chose to send me to Chennai Vidyalaya, the only school that was near my home back then. And keep smiling is the motto of my dear school. Even though my marriage was arranged by my parents, my lovely husband was my school senior by a couple of years, which we found out only later, you know. Now keep smiling became our family motto, sort of. Till date, when I chat or talk with my school friends, I envision them as the little boy or the cute girl that I always knew many, many decades ago. The reason behind me sharing this is it doesn't matter where we study, what we study, or how we study, you know, back then. Today, how we are matters. You know, every day is a new day. Your college and your school are the best institutions for you in the whole wide world. Please utilize the resources that are available, you know, and make your parents and teachers, you're all the younger children of this beautiful world, you know, be kind as possible, and try to help each other. Share your knowledge and wisdom with everyone, and make your parents and your teachers proud of you. Okay, school days and college days are the best part of everyone's life. As we get older, those days are always cherished. No amount of money or wealth can give back a person's childhood. Please, please be friends with everyone. Let us remember, smile and the whole world smiles with you. Not at you though, with you. Actual lessons, Valdama Bangaram. Okay, let me go on to the second slide. I'm sorry, we had some issues here. School starts here today, and there was a net issue. I logged on like 30 minutes ago, and then there was some issue. My laptop, one of the laptop that's broadcasting right now, froze, and I had to reboot everything. I'm really sorry for the delay. So, Python 2 and 3. Okay. It's another beautiful day. We already made our mind to learn Python. Great. Now here is the timeline of all the stable releases of our dear Python listed in this slide, which, we know that Python 2 was there almost, since 1990. So it's almost 30 years now. Come February of 2021, February 20th, 2021, Python will be 30 years old, It's definitely younger than me, but way, way older than all of you all, my dear children. Perfect, okay? So the latest version that we can download from python.org, as we saw yesterday. I apologize, yesterday some of the screens were really, I would make sure that it's zoomed in today, okay? I just viewed the recorded version and I realized, some of the letters were really not visible at all. So I'll make sure that, whatever I show in the code during a practical session, I would just, make sure it's a little bit bigger. Sorry about that. Anyways, it was just, instructions on the introduction of Python yesterday. So today will be the basics. So, please pay attention. All right, so the latest version that you can download from python.org will be 3.8.5. Yesterday, I showed you that on my, the laptop that I was, logged on to had 3.8.4. There are quite a few differences between Python 2 and Python 3, starting from whether print is a statement in Python 2 or print is a function as in Python 3. In case, since this language has been there for many, many years, it has picked up popularity only recently. However, in case you come across any Python code, okay, with one quick glance at the Python statement itself, we can easily make out the version. Alrighty. So Python is used by many companies, including everyone's favorite YouTube. All right. All right, nice to know, right? Let's move on to the next slide. This would be some more, these are all nodes, okay, but still. So Python 3 supports development of a wide range of GUI applications, like graphical user interface applications. Countless packages are available in Python 3 when compared to Python 2, okay? Some of the primary differences between Python 2 and Python 3 are listed as notes for you all. For example, okay, this one important thing, even in the previous slide you all might have seen, Python 3 stores text strings as UTF-8, Unicode Transformation Format 8-bit, rather than ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Exchange, as in Python 2. In short, Python 3 is incompatible with Python 2, okay? Soon they're going to be, not even going to be supporting Python 2. So since you're all learning, beginning to learn from Python 3 rather than 2, let's not even, be concerned, let's happily learn Python 3, all right? So let's move on to the next slide. Please pay attention. This would be the, we see all the data types and data structures in Python listed in here. Data types can be as simple as string, integer, float, boolean, etc. Data structure in itself, what is it? It's a collection of data, okay? Or data types rather. The relationship among this data, along with the functions or operations that can be applied on the data itself, is data structures. So, as computer science student, we had our data structures separately as, like a subject in the curriculum. We don't have to know in depth as of, to be a beginner learner in Python, but still, it's good to know. I will, during the practical session, I will also show you some sites where, in case you're new to programming, there are like various, sites. I'm going to be showing like one or two today. You will actually get to know how an integer, in case you want to cast it, those things we're not going to be covering in the syllabus. So that's why I want to be familiarizing you all with websites that are, good, for beginners, I mean. Okay, so the 4 built-in data structures in Python are list, tuple, dictionary, and set. When Arun sir, asked me to do this, initially he sent the syllabus and he said, ma'am, if you can cover list, tuple, dictionary, and set, I think they got it from Coursera website or somewhere. So then I said, sir, this is very basic. Since this is going to be a webinar sort of thing, I know Python itself can go as like, like a subject that I can take, anybody can take for a semester. But still, if you were to cover it all concisely in a couple of days, then, we have to make sure that, everyone that's listening would be interested. So that's why we didn't want to only restrict to the basic thing. Today, we'll be brushing over everything real quick. In case there are any questions, you can always get back to me. Yeah, the question that I left unanswered yesterday was not relevant to Python. Someone named Akshita, dear, you asked me about the difference between Slack channel and Julep. I actually sent the link to the Microsoft Teams, so maybe, after we're done with the session, sir can publish it, or maybe, I will see how I can publish it on the YouTube thing itself for you to view. It's more of like a messaging thing. That's not relevant to Python though. So let's just get back to the topic today. Python. So you can always, what I meant to say was, you can always come up with any questions in case, it's something that I know and, something that's related, we can answer. Even otherwise, I'll always get back to you. That's what I meant to say. So Python's data structures, the most important ones that we need to concentrate, other than the standard, built-in integer, bool, float, and all of that, would be list, tuple. Some people call it as tuple. It doesn't matter since it's a proper noun. Even our names, Indian names, are pronounced. Luckily, my father named me as Rose, even when I was in India. Most Chinese people, they change their first name because it's very hard for, like everyone to even pronounce their name. So don't worry, just read it. English is again a language. Do not be too concerned about, how you would pronounce, what others would think of. Again, even if, we are wrong, that's all right. It's just a language. There is no right person, no perfect person in the world. So just be happy. All right. So it's tuple. If you were to say it, it's tuple, right? But if you want to call it as tuple, some people also call it as tuple. So, but largely people call it as tuples. All right. This is an important data structure. That's why I want to make sure that you know how to say it right. Yeah, we will go over examples as well today in the practical session. So dictionary and data types. Now, have you all heard of some word called mutable before? Mutable objects, okay? These are objects whose state can be changed after its creation, okay? Through updating, adding, or deleting elements. Lists, dictionary, set, byte array are all mutable object types in Python. So that means if it's mutable, that means you can add, you can update, you can delete after its creation. Okay, that means it's kind of like dynamic. Okay, so whereas objects cannot be modified once the object is created. We cannot add or remove or update elements. So then why do we need this? We would need it, There are specific scenarios where we would want, like immutable objects. So tuples, strings, integer, frozen set are some of the immutable object types in Python. I repeat it, string, integer, tuple, frozen set are all immutable object types in Python. Alrighty, don't get, don't worry about this too much. That's what I meant. Okay. Don't get lost there. All right. Next slide. Something happened to this. I have other laptop that controls this. I had to reboot this as well. So I'm not going to waste my time, like showing the slides in the back of the TV though. during the practical session, maybe I'll work it out, or maybe that won't be needed. Anyways, so these four that you see on this slide, list, tuple, set, dictionaries, these are the, the data structures that you want to be focusing on pretty much, all right, for Python. These, as we know, all data types are capable of storing collection of data. All these data structures are capable of storing collection of data. Lists are commonly used, okay, as they are sequence type. They are sortable and mutable, all righty, not immutable. Mutable meaning it can be changed. Tuples are immutable, that is, they cannot be changed. Generally, tuples are used to pass arguments and results, like return results from functions. I'll be showing you a couple of examples. So during the course, when we are learning like higher topics, these all will be the very basic fundamental things. So, it will be repeated over and over again. So, we'll be familiarizing ourselves with them. Don't worry as of now. So do items that are related, even if their data types are different. Sets are used to store non-duplicate items, okay? Meaning redundant values are discarded in sets, all right? They are unordered. These provide fast access when compared to lists. Dictionaries can store key or value pairs. So from Python 3.7, the order in which the items are inserted into a particular dictionary is preserved. All right. From Python 3.8 onwards, we can iterate through the dictionary in reverse order even. So when you start to play with these data structures, you would definitely be able to like make out the difference between. So some person, I forgot the name, I'm sorry, was asking that they had an earlier version of Python and should they upgrade to the latest one. Those of you who haven't downloaded, please always download the latest version. Those of you who have, you can for now pretty much like 3.8, Python 3.8 has been like standard. Usually we don't recommend to rush onto the latest versions, but 3.8 has been quite there since December of last year. That's what I had shown in the timeline in the second slide that I showed you today, right? So in 3.8, what happens is you can iterate through a dictionary in reverse order, okay? Dictionaries can contain duplicate values, but keys must be unique. So sort of like a, I'm not sure how many people are purely computer, like science students, and so how many of you are like non-computer science students. Python is very easy, even for anyone that's not at all an engineer, not at all, like related to any programming before. So please, it's easy. Start focusing on the code right away, by getting practical. Yesterday, I'm not sure if I mentioned about GitHub in one of the slides. I think I had put in there, but I did not mention the. So mostly, most of the code is available in GitHub, and for. I will let you know more such websites as we go. All right, let's move on to this. So this slide in itself shows the list of all the methods that are in list. Okay, so it's the complete, not the complete, the prominent ones that the list data structure has. These are all the inbuilt functions or methods. All right. So likewise, every other data structure, for every other data structure, you can find the methods, even if you do not know, from some of the tools that I mentioned, like PyCharm. You just create a data structure and then, automatically. So those IDEs, they help, they help us memorize, they help us remember, they help us, like recollect things. Even otherwise, your starting point would be Python documentation. the link that I showed you yesterday, python.org. So you go in there, there are documentation links. Today I will also be showing you, what time is it now? Okay, so I better rush, okay? So in a little while, okay, during our practical part, I will be showing you some of the documents that are in python.org, all right? So next, now, wonderful. Cheat sheets are a great way of reviewing, referring, and recollecting. Cheating is generally considered bad now, like in Telugu, dongatana. However, cheat sheets is highly recommended, okay? Cheatography.com, you can see that, this is taken from this particular thing. That's why I wanted to put in the link as well. So cheatography.com, please make note of this website and utilize the free cheat sheets, which, the reason why I mentioned it here was that. Now, what is said over here on this slide? Again, it's talking about, about lists, tuples, okay? So both lists and tuples are collections that are ordered. They both allow duplicate values. However, tuples cannot be changed. They are immutable. Dictionaries are collections which are unordered, mutable, and do not allow duplicate members. All right. Sets are unindexed. Okay. There is no index. There is no. Some of you, those who are familiar with SQL language like Oracle, you might know. You might have used like indexes freely. Those of you who do not know much about computers also, do not fret. Do not worry, please. Python is very simple. Like I showed you yesterday, just 4 lines of code can actually help you to run a web server, with basic code. Just, those 4 lines, and then, you write your HTML and, voila, there you go. You just, show a web server in action, which is what we saw yesterday, right? Now, dictionary is indexed. All right, let's move on to this slide. Next slide, slide number 8. File handling or file-based operations. So we are done with the data structures as of now. We are moving on to another section that's talking about file-based operations or file handling mechanism. These are frequently utilized by most projects, okay? Python does read, write, move, copy, delete on all files, okay, with built-in functions or methods. Some functions and explanation are, specified here. So basically, you see, when you say, this is from, that's why I have the link as well, So open, you see, open is to open a file. Likewise, close is close an open file. And then read, you can read a number of characters from the file, all right? And readable, we want to check whether, it's in the readable mode or not, okay? And it usually returns a Boolean value, Boolean meaning it's true or false, okay? If it's the file is readable, it's true, returns true, okay? And then I have a read line, okay? That means it's capable of reading a complete line, all right? And what else do I have here? Read lines, okay? So this actually reads and returns all the lines from the file. Likewise, seek offset. Seek meaning like you have to change the cursor position, okay, to whichever place you want. So when you start to learn, more, when you look at more file examples, you can utilize all of this. So initially, you don't have to know each and every method that's listed on this slide. Seekable, okay, seekable returns true if the file is supporting random access. Now, what else do I have here? Writable, okay, writable, returns true if the file is writable. And then write, okay, is actually writes a string of data to the file. Write lines writes a list of data to the file. So file path and directory, some of the functions, some more functions are mentioned here in this slide. The link that I've specified is a link to a great article, okay, that's on towardsdatascience.com. Okay, this website has informative articles for all of you all that do not know about this site. That's why I want to make a note of this, link. So this is a very lucid drawing, very clear drawing of, how everything is. It was very catchy, and I really liked it. Let's move on to the next slide. Wonderful. Exceptions. Okay. Exceptions. These are all the exceptions that are built in Python. I will brief for 1 second for you all to take a look at it. Again, these are all available in python.org documentation, so we don't have to memorize everything. If you know some, it's great. If you do not know anything, that's great as well. Okay, these days programming is not as difficult as it used to be. Even when I started programming 20 years ago, it was not as tough as this. However, it's gotten much, much easier. That's what I meant to say. So what are exceptions? Exceptions, okay, are, like I said before, I'm not sure if you guys, made use of SQL, PL SQL and Oracle. Python's, so let me move on to the next slide, okay? So this slide is basically the list of all the exceptions, and this slide would be, how the exception, is constructed here. This would be the syntax, that's listed towards the left side, and towards the right side is some code. All right. Now, what are exceptions? Exception in itself, the literal meaning is, when there is an error, it throws an error. But if there are predefined exceptions, or if you expect some error to happen, then you can actually catch that, and you can write your own, code to redirect it to specific module, or if you, to begin with, you can just say, oh, that's the exception. So in this example that I've mentioned here, right? So this is using user-defined exception, okay? So what is that? That's called invalid age error, okay? Built-in exception class must be the parent here. So that's sort of like the object-oriented inheritance. So I like this example as some of you might not be eligible to vote yet, you're all kids. When I was in India, I never had a chance to vote so young. Anyways, as responsible and proud citizens of the largest democracy in the world, we all must vote, once you're eligible. Okay. Now, let me show on this slide before moving on to this slide. Let me explain what's in here. When you're 17, it's calling as if, I was 17 right then. So I just put in that number. 23, my husband married me, and I came here. So I missed the gap to actually, vote in India. One time I was eligible, but, they never came for the voters list. Anyways, now, if age is less than 18, then you have to raise invalid age error. Person not eligible to vote, okay? And whatever is the age is actually displayed as the exception here. Now, this is the first example, I believe, that I have shown with the class, even though this is an exception class, okay? That is actually the child of the pre-built or the inbuilt exception class in Python. This itself, has, it raises an exception, that is, it's using the exception construct, and it's actually also defining, a function called vote eligibility. Vote eligibility is the function that takes in one a parameter or one value. Some of the terms that I'm using, if you're not familiar with programming, might sound technical. Don't worry, it's all easy. So please, just ignore those terms that you don't understand. You can always refer that. These days we have Google, we have Bing, we have so many search engines. We can use them, and then you can always, improve your, like programming ability. Now, this class invalid age error exception class is actually having int, it's an int, it's a constructor, it's having a constructor in it, and it has one function in it, and it is called the oat eligibility function, which takes in one parameter, and based on the parameters, it checks. So this has an if construct. If age is less than 18, it raises an exception, and that exception is going to not call another thing, just as simple as that person is not eligible to vote. Okay, otherwise you can say person can vote. All right, so well, this would be the try, and the try, you're calling vote eligibility of 23, vote eligibility of 17. Except would be the ending construct for that, and you can actually call whichever exception that you have predefined, and it's actually printing that. Okay, we'll see more examples today. I don't want to get like wasting my time on this. All right, last slide. Functions in Python, like other programming language, function is a logical unit of code containing a sequence of statements. Def, DEF, as we saw in the previous example, would be the keyword to define a function. All right, and built-in functions are, what we have in packages. Lambda is an unnamed function which provides an expression form to generate function objects. Lambda expression, it creates a function and returns its objects and calling it later. Some things are too, like technical for, little children to understand. As you get familiar, as you want to like improve more, you can always, this is our last slide. I want to get to the practical part. I'm going to be using this thing. Hold on one moment. Let me turn off. I usually try to turn off the video because I want you all to see the full screen, so that's why I turned off the video. And let me hold on one second, please. Okay. I set everything up, and it just sir. Okay. I'm going to be showing my entire desktop here. We don't need this. I want to get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Is my screen audible to everyone? I'm sorry. I think I have to get rid of this. Okay. Is my screen audible to everyone? Hopefully, right? Yeah. Okay, I think it's viewable. And am I audible, Arun, sir? Am I audible? Because I had some echo issues.
Yeah, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay, perfect. Audible. Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show is get on Jupyter Notebook. Okay, yesterday we got onto Jupyter Notebook. I'm bringing up Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda. You can also manually go to the Jupyter prompt and then do it. It's like I said yesterday, it's going to be showing the local host, right? Local host 8888 would be the default. By default, Jupyter Notebook or IPython runs in here. And
Now I'm going to be showing you teaching Python. Okay, this is where I have every program that we are going to see for today's practical session. Okay, so it's by default getting in here. All right. Okay. First and foremost, I want to show you this. Okay. Is my screen a little bit bigger now? I think I tried to maximize. Hopefully, you're able to see. So this is, yes, this is yesterday, I wanted you guys to see everything. Plus, I didn't realize that, the letters are very little. Sorry about that. My apologies. Now we are in Jupyter Notebook, and I'm going to be showing you and explaining you this class. The class name is person, and it actually has a constructor which is defined with usually constructors in Python are init, I-N-I-T. Constructor is like in yesterday's example when we saw class, everything in the free world that you envision, you see that is a class. And if you want to use that object of the class, usually we have to start with the constructor. So beginning constructor, and this takes in name and number. I don't want to waste time running this. That's why, since I'm going to be, showing you the complete, screen. You see over here, this is a run. Okay, so this runs this particular portion of the Jupyter Notebook, and object function is going to be the name that I gave for that. And this is the first construct that I run, and there are a couple of more constructs. I'm going to be explaining them all to you. So once when we are done, when we have time, I'm going to be opening a new Jupyter Notebook page, and I would, try to run. Even I think yesterday I tried to show you like one line statement where we could reference like HTML, HTML that goes and retrieves links the YouTube, right? Yesterday we saw that. Now, what I have over here is called, in this particular example, what we see is str and repr, right? So these are called the object functions, okay? Object function, repr, that's underscore underscore repr underscore underscore, is a built-in function that is used to compute the official string representation of an object, while underscore underscore str underscore underscore is a built-in function that computes the informal string representation of an object. Okay, so this is something that's other programming people might find it something like catchy. That's why I wanted to mention this. This is great in Python. Both underscore underscore rpr. RPR stands for representation. Like I said, str again is the string representation. They are used to represent objects, but in different ways. These are useful for debugging or logging information. If you were to actually log, like log information, usually when there is an error, where this is like when we look at simple examples like this, no person's project in real time is going to be as simple as this. Okay, there'll be thousands and thousands of different classes. There'll be like a few million codes. That's how it is always. Even to begin with, nobody does like 10 lines of code. That's not, only for learning purpose. Okay. So in those scenarios, we would actually find it very difficult. Yesterday, we saw that Python is interpreter run. So if in real time there is an issue, how are we going to debug it? Okay. We need to make sure that we understand from which part, what happens, etc. So Python utilizes the string representation of an object as mentioned here, underscore underscore str and underscore underscore rpr. Okay, got it. Now str usually returns string object. Okay, rpr can return any Python expression. Please, even if you don't follow, do not worry about all this. Not all of this is going to be needed to begin programming. Okay, do not get intimidated. That's my whole idea. Please, okay, don't be scared. It's easy. Just always think easy, happy, smile, and just start to get to programming. Now, looking at this, I'm calling the person and I'm trying to input. This input over here means I'm trying to read some value. Now let me run this part, okay, just so that we know what we're doing. I just mentioned Dr. Arun sir yesterday's as well. Even I don't remember his phone number by heart, so I'm just gonna put some number in there. You see, so we ran that. So input actually prompts to get like an input from the user. Usually when you call input open and close brackets, that means that you are actually requesting for an input from the user. All right, so that's all. If you want to write any beginning program, I know when we were coding we used a Fibonacci series, all of those simple math constructs, we try to utilize. You can use the same thing. So if you want the user to input, then you actually to get to the console to do that. I'm showing you this is high end. This is on from the Jupyter notebook. Even if you were running it from command prompt, as I showed you yesterday, again, I will try to show you some other example in command prompt during the course of during our course, because the command thing that I showed you yesterday was not at all visible. I'm sorry, my apologies. Now, so this example takes two values. One is the name, the other one is the number. And what is this? It's saying that when I'm trying to print the object, right, it's saying this person is at that object. So what is this whole thing? Something, it looks like a memory address or something, right? Maybe, we don't know. So we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, now moving on to this example. I hope the letters are visible to you all. Now this is the same example. However, over here we have mentioned, when you compare this previous construct right here, p.str, and when you look at this example, you're trying to just print p, and then you're trying to print this p.str over here. That's the only difference. Just let's not focus on this as of yet. When you look at the output, you can actually view that there is a difference. Now, this is a dictionary. How is it a dictionary? And I also got an error. The error would say that this is a type error. So this is not an error, it's an exception. We just saw an exception, a user-defined exception. This particular thing, type error, is it's an exception. What's happening here in the line 26? So for these sort of scenario, when it happens during real time, we need to actually be able to utilize the object function efficiently, which is why I wanted to. The starting program itself is really complicated. I'm sorry, my apologies. But if you don't understand, please review it again and again. You will definitely be able to get some information out of it. Okay, so type error is an exception. And what happens here is we are actually trying to print in this line. Okay, which line is that? So we are trying to type over here means like we're trying to change the type. And what is it saying? It's saying it returns a non-string, but the type has to be a dictionary. Okay. Now the last example, sorts out the. I have three different. So yesterday when I mentioned Jupyter notebooks are advantageous because not only can we save different programs or different, like classes, we can save versions of them along with the output information, or it cannot be relevant. It doesn't have to be related. You can actually, like have something irrelevant too, and, put them all together as a notebook. So this would be like your notebook. You can actually refer that later. Okay, so that's an advantage of using, one single advantage of using Jupyter Notebook. And let's get back to the last part here. Class person. This person takes in, again, INIT. INIT will be the constructor, and it takes person name and person number. And over here, I'm trying to actually create, so P is the object of this person, and input of name and input of number. So input, usually when we see input, that means it's going to be asking for the prompt. Normally, most programs, might use input, but there are other ways as well. We might see more ways. But to begin with, okay, if you want to input from the console, from like get for the user's input, then this is how. All right. Now, what I want to show you over here is how did we get rid of that issue? The issue that we faced here is, say this returned a non-string. Look at this. This returned a non-string, but it's of type dictionary. Now, look at this. This is a new construct that we have. So I am making sure that before I print, okay, so like I said, underscore str would be the string format by default. However, if it's underscore RPR, okay, so that is actually what happens is it's the official string representation of an object. Okay, so that's why it's not able to understand. So we have to explicitly mention that it needs to be typecasted as the object needs to be typecasted as a string, and then we print it. So now we got rid of that issue. So it's saying this is the person's name that I entered, and that's the number. So I'm trying to like print it in different ways. So when I gave just P, that's the object. So how it printed, and how I gave when I gave dot underscore str, how I printed, and like how it printed S. If you want, I can run this. What's the time now? We have more examples. So this is it. All right. So I don't want to be like concentrating more only on this. I have more examples to show. Okay. So what else do we have after this? Should we get into file handling right away? Yes. File handling mechanism. Okay. Okay. So this is my file handling mechanism .ipynb. That is IPython notebook is my, like a Jupyter notebook, and I have this now. Like I said, file handling mechanism, a text file can be opened in, please make a note of this. Please make a note of this. W plus, right? So it can be opened in R, W, or A modes. Okay, that's reading, writing, or appending text files. Since write mode always overwrites the data that is present in a file, okay, A mode, append mode, can be used to append data to a file generally at the end of the file pointer. R plus, when we mention R plus, that means read or write mode. This is used when we want to write or read the data from the same file. Okay, W plus opens, as in this example, W plus is the mode. This opens a file for both writing and reading. It overwrites the existing file if the file exists already. If the file does not exist, what happens is it creates a new file for reading and writing. If at all, in here, if you see A plus, then that means it's going to be appending on, like append or read mode. And this is used when we want to read data from a file or append the data into the same file. You got it, right? So that is the mode. And greetings.txt. Where is my greetings.txt? I already opened a file like that. That's why it's in here. I just did it last night. So that's why it says, you see, 11 hours ago. All right. And these are all the things that are running. In case I want to shut down this Jupyter notebook, I just hit that. Because remember, this is all happening from the server. You see? I don't know if I can maximize. Let's not bother. Let's not get into that now. Okay, let me concentrate on the code. I know there's so much to say. Sorry, guys and girls. Okay, so now it's opening this file. Once when I open my file, what's the name of my file that I've given? I have, for convenience sake, if you want, you can actually mention the path in here. I just wanted to, not complicate much. So just gave a greetings.txt. So by default, it just happens to write the file in the same directory. Now, this is what I'm writing in the file. I'm writing whatever is the name, file name, and whatever is the mode of the file, and whatever is the encoding format. Okay. Now, how do I get all this? I get these information as of my file dot name, and then my, sir, can you mute your thing, sir? I think, there is some disturbance from your end. Sorry, sir. Can you mute it? I don't want, the viewers to get this. Sorry. Sir. Okay, my file dot name, and then thank you. My file dot mode, and then my file dot encoding. These are all the available. Let me show you over here. Okay, let me go to python.org, and where I can see the documentation is over here, right? You just go to just Python docs, or just click on or beginner's guide, wherever. Everything takes you to the same place. Now, see, look at this. I want to show you. Look, list comparison: fruits, banana, apple, lime. So they have little code as well. This is a beautiful site, Python. No wonder why it's popular. Okay, so everything is free, and we can learn free, we can teach for free. Okay, so what I was going to show was, I want to show you all the methods that are relevant to file. You do that, you can actually, say, so what is this? PEP is the enhancement project. So these are all the enhancement. During the course of time, we will see all those things. Let's not go there yet. Okay, so go in there, and then this would be your wealth of information. You have everything. You just figure it out. You spend some time. PyPy is another place that you have to go to. I'm going to show you that in a little while. My goodness, sorry. Okay. Hello, GMR Institute of Technology is what I wrote in there. Okay, and then I actually said good evening and etc. So now, what happens is when I run this file, right? Let me show you over here. Or maybe I want to show it to you here rather. It's more bigger. basics. Okay, cool. Look, this is my file that I wrote. I did not type it. I actually used my Python. This Python code writes this information. Okay, over here, this writes the information over here. So now let me show you. Look, when you see print, okay, when you see print, okay, automatically you should realize that it's going to be printing out as output. So what is the file name? We opened it in W+ mode. And what is the encoding format? Whatever is the size, whatever is the position. I mentioned, right? Seek is a command. So say seek is a function. It's a method in file. If you want to seek, you want to like change to the, usually when you have a file, when you begin, the seek is usually the beginning. And when you write, it's in the end. So we can always like go back, we can seek the pointer and then retrieve, information from there. So this is all that we have printed. What is the content of the file? The content of the file that we wrote is this. Hello, GMR Institute of Technology. Good morning, dear ECE departments. It should have been good evening, sorry. Hope you all enjoy Python training, and thanks a million, dear sir, etc. Now, data present at the current line, okay? So its data is over there. Now, how do we know all that? We know all that because we use look at this. We used, okay, I wrote these lines. Remember I told you about write lines method before? So I wrote all of this from this text, txt is going to be R. What would be this when it's in bracket? Let me show you. Let me show you 1 second. Okay. Oh, the first program itself is Fibonacci series. How cool. So this is a list, you see? Fruits is banana. There are 3 things in the list, and look at this. So we have defined a list, and that list is going to have this information 1, and this is 2, and this is a new line character, which is why after the end of each the information that was from the list that was written to the file, there is a new line character. That's why we have this. So how many do I have in this? I have about a few items in this list. In the example that's they are showing, right? In the example that they are showing, I wanted to show you the Python. Okay, okay, I don't want to bother you now because I want this to get away. What is this? Okay, here. So these are the 3 items that are in the fruits list. And this is a simple example that's converting. They're comparing and they're doing something. Okay, you can review that later. There are so many codes like this, so many code snippets like that available freely everywhere with explanation. So basically what I was going to explain was this is a simple file that is it's a text file that we can read from and we can write from, and it has information. We are trying to read whatever is present in the file, and we are actually listing up all of that. Okay, now what would be this format? WB+. Okay, that is if you want to write a binary file. Look at this. I also have a binary format of the same file that we created. So for encoding purpose, in case you want to encode. So look at this, right? Okay, I see. I'm trying to open this file in WB+, and then I give encode. I'm calling the encode method, and I'm trying to encode it in the UTF format, 32 bits, and I'm trying to write the file in there. So that's why you see this is the binary form of the data, and this the normal data is like this. Normal data is, so I hope you're all enjoying the Python training. So where was the pointer here? Is over there. Okay, so the current file, the content of the file is this, and then the data at present is in the current line. So that's why I look, the normal data is this, and this part is the binary form of the, okay. Let me show you another example, okay? Let me show you another example. Let's just kill this. I shut down that. And then the next one that I want to show you was split. Okay, maybe I'm going to show this in IDLE. Yesterday, I tried to show something in IDLE. I want to show this in IDLE. Okay, do we have time? Sorry, kids, we started late. I'm very sorry. My apologies. Okay, let's just open. By default, like I said yesterday, it's going to be showing the location where Python, your Python in your PC is installed. So we don't want to go there now. We want to go to our own file. Let's just go here. All right. So now, import. Yesterday, there were a couple of questions from import. So this PYPDF2. PYPDF2 is another third party. Oh God, I want to get rid of this. Okay, let's just leave it like that. And, okay, where was I going to show? Yes, over here. PYPI. In python.org, okay, when you see python.org, this is the home page, and you go to PY, this is the Python package index, PYPI, okay. Now, where this PDF2 is something that I installed yesterday just for this reason. This is basically how we, mostly we know that, if there is a PDF file like this file that I got from, is it coming? Yes, this is from GMRIT and the curriculum for BTech Electronics and Communication Engineering. There are 92 pages. I'm not sure if you're able to see that small there, but that's why I have to say it. So there are 92 pages in this file. What I'm doing is using my Python code, I'm trying to split that PDF for the portable document format. Usually we know, like PDF files are very difficult to handle. We cannot do as easy as it was a text file, right? So that's why what we're doing here is PyPDF2 is a Python library. It's a third-party library. That's why you see it here. You see it here. You see? Where was I? Yes. You would be able to see PyPDF2 and you enter. See? This is, yes, I want to show you. Okay. I wanted to see environment. This is not the page that I was looking for. Anyways, let's not waste time here. I'm going to show you in a little while. Basically, we have a PDF file. Okay. This PDF file was conveniently downloaded by me from GMRIT's website. They have this curriculum. So I took that, and then these are the files that were created. This I wrote code to actually split. So I wanted only the first 2 pages of that PDF file, okay? Not all information needs to be shared with someone if that's the case. In this case, this is just a curriculum that anyone can view. Or for simplicity reasons, okay? Maybe you want to split only some pages from that file. So in this case, I split that big file of 92 pages from this PDF, the original PDF, into 3. The second one also has 2 pages only. And so that's going to be the subsequent 2 pages. And the rest of the pages would be in the third file. That's how I programmed. Look at that. Okay, so 88 pages. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see, so this 92-page file has been split into 3 different things. For that, I actually utilized our Python PyPDF2. So this library is used for extracting PDF document information like title, author, you can split, you can crop, you can actually merge multiple pages into a single one. You can actually encrypt, you can decrypt PDF files. Sky's the limit for that. Now, let me show you. Okay. I think it's, let's see, okay, usually it's like that. And then we say PyPDF2. There. This was the page that I was looking for. I should have actually, I thought I saved it in favorites. So many things happening with my laptop these days. Don't know why. Okay, so see, this is the this is the description of this PyPDF. Likewise, in case you want to see any, you can search for the project. Like I said, there's, like thousands of projects, thousands of, like enhancements done, PEPs, or all the enhancements that are done. So these are the people that are going to be maintaining that one. So there are 3 people that are maintaining, and, more information you can see here. Okay. So pypi.org is something that you can see from python.org. You see over there, this is going to be the package index. Okay, let's get back to the code. Okay, so as we know, we are importing that, and as we know, def means function. What is our function's name? It's called PDF split. Okay. And we are actually opening our PDF in RB format. Okay, read binary. All right, and then what is this? This is our PDF file reader. So that's actually a class that's there in that PyPDF2. That's why we are using, import. And we are starting, and then we split. So this is a, like a simple code, very simple code. For loop, like I said, I wanted to split it up into 3. So, I have mentioned that, you can split as, look at that. This is our main function. Okay. I've mentioned, like split the page positions 2, 4. So that's why I got, the first 2 pages in the first file, the second 2 files in the second file, and then the rest of them in the third file. As simple as that. So I'm calling the main function. Okay, this is how we call the main function. We saw underscore init today. We saw underscore str today. We can also, like make a note of this, like name is equal to main. That means you're calling the main function. Usually the def means definition of a function, and then you have the PDF, whatever is the like PDF file name, and you split the position. And this is a code that actually we are utilizing the it's so simple. And I'm not writing the code, I'm just calling PDF file writer and it writes. Okay, so for that we can actually refer whichever package it is. All right, so let's get over with that example. Okay, what else do I want to show? Sorry, we are a little late today. Maybe should we stop today now over here, sir? What do you think? It's over 10 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Right.
I know I can talk. I can keep on talking.
We are having some 2 to 3 questions, ma'am. We will share.
Oh, we're having 2. Oh, yes, sir. What are those questions? Yes, sir. You can actually.
Right now. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yes. So you can post them and I'll be able to answer them. Yes. You can share your screen, sir. Once you start to share automatically, I think mine goes away. So. Oh, so when you post, maybe I can, while you post, maybe I can show one more example. I don't want to waste time. Time is precious, right? Let's show.
Yeah, ma'am, it is shared. Questions
Oh,
are
you
shared,
put the share. Okay. Okay, no problem. Yes, sir. Okay. Sorry. I wanted to show you this exception handling thing. Let's see. Did I just close it? Maybe tomorrow I will show you if my screen gets disconnected once you start to share. All right. So, sir, until the time that you're going to show, right? Let me explain this code. So basically, what we're doing is we are this is exceptions, right? Try, and we are trying to catch some exception. What kind of exception? Predefined exception. So I know this doesn't make sense. I just gave a random list, any list that just has three different values. First value is just a string, and second value are numbers. I'm trying to divide. I want to just see if we can divide. When I'm trying to divide the string by this entry, whatever is the entry, we are getting value error. Oh, you have the question, sir? Okay. Well, okay, 1 second. Oh, someone asked for Dishan Patel, the same person from yesterday, is asking for how to define an exception. Exception is like an error. So we are on the right example right now. So if you focus this example, in this example that I'm showing you here, I don't know if you are able to see this. Okay, let me show. I think my screen is already showing sharing, right? Okay, so exceptions are like errors that are predefined. You can catch them and you can manipulate them. Say in this example, we know for sure that 1 divided by 0 is a 0 division error. We know it's infinity. 1 divided by 0 is infinity. So on purpose, I gave that. And what happened is, it's saying that this is the error, 0 division error. So certain errors are defined as exceptions, or available freely as exceptions. Now, I hope that answer. What's the second question? The second question is purpose of, okay. So init is usually constructor. Okay, in case you want to define a constructor, you just give underscore init. That's how it is. When you go to any Python code page or somewhere, you will be able to see that. What's the next question? Next question is asking, is it necessary to learn C? No, there is no necessity to learn anything prior to Python, Shivaji, sir. And what is the significance of binary file format? Binary file format, like I said, encoding. So most of the times, you want, usually safety, data security, that's the concern, right? So binary format will change your text file into binary format, and you can actually send it across on the web. Or hackers are smart these days, always hackers are smart in every day, not just today. So, but still, binary format is, going to write your text file in binary format. The next question is how to implement data structure. So even in this example that I'm showing is having a random list is a data structure. So it's not called implementing, it's called you use the data structure. Okay, and then what is the difference between a package and a module? Yeah, we will go over such things later. So you want to talk more about, what is a package and It's a very basic question, but still, let's see. I hope you are able to see my screen, right? Let's see. If you go to, all right, what's the last question that's there? It's what language? I am not able to read the last question.
Which language is better for GIS, Python or Java or JavaScript?
Python is the best as of now, sir. Like I said, even yesterday when someone asked me, since we have been doing a lot of Java code all along, Java coders will like they prefer, being in Java. However, Python has, like surpassed expectations of every programmer. Okay, it's simple, it's popular, it has a wide community. People are they keep on contributing, and you say the success stories. Like I said, this would be the site. Please go in there, and then you will know all. Such questions would never pop up. You will decide definitely. I need to learn Python. So before we wrap up, I want to just show you this user-defined exception. Okay, please. Sorry.
One more question.
Okay, just one more. Yes, just one more second, and then we are done.
Is it possible to convert a binary file format back to Python format?
Yes. Yeah, back. Yes. Easy. Yes. It is possible. Okay, so
Thank
and
you.
then maybe we should meet tomorrow. I think. Yeah. Maybe we should meet tomorrow, sir. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I think my screen is not shared. Not getting shared there.
Not getting shared, ma'am. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, sir. Maybe we can meet tomorrow, and hopefully, there are not much, network issues as we face today. I will go over whatever code that I wanted to show tomorrow, and then we can cope up likewise. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Andarki.
Thank you very much.
Namaskaram again, and chala santosham meeting everyone through webinar. These webinars are great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Arun, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, participants. Tomorrow we will meet at 4:30 sharp. Right, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.